Bhai. Hey, it's John, your Indian Cinemaniac. I just did a little, good morning, Mumbai, because the movie I'm about to review. Yeah, that's why I did that. Now I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I got the voice right, but I'm nowhere near as good looking as that woman in this film. Yes, yes, yes. As you probably figured out, I am reviewing the sequel to Munna Bhai MBBS, Lage, Rhao, Munna Bhai, which was made in 2006. Um, because I just did Sanju. So I figured, what the hell? I might as well watch this movie. And a lot of you have recommended it too. It was directed by, once again, Rajkumar Hirani, who I keep saying this, but I'll say it again, directed my favorite Indian film, Three Idiots, and Donkey, and Sanju. The writer was Vidya Vinod Chopra, who directed and wrote the film I reviewed a few movies ago, 12th Fail, which I really loved. It stars Sunjay Dutt, Munna Bhai MBBS, Leo, Agneepath, Arshad Warsi, who I saw him in Munna Bhai MBBS, obviously, and also Simmba. Vidya Balan, Balan, who I've never seen before, who I have to say, if I may be so, because everyone knows I'm a Kareena Kapoor, Katrina Kaif super fan. But this actress was, I don't know, something about her. Well, obviously she's beautiful. I don't know. There was something about her look that I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't quite as exotic as some of the other actresses that get my blood flowing, if you know what I'm saying. But she was beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, I understand why I fell in love with her. Boman Irani, the Harvey Korman of Rajkumar films. Three Idiots, Dawn, Donkey, and Dilip Prabhavalkar, who played Ghandi in this film. Okay, so let's talk about the story. I don't know much about Ghandi other than the film, other than some of the comments you guys talk about whenever we talk about nonviolence and the terrorism. You bring up Gandhi. So I don't know much about him, to be perfectly honest with you. But this was a love letter to Gandhi. And it was sending a message that current India doesn't know enough about Gandhi, and that's kind of a sad thing. And so basically, the story is about Munna Bhai, who's a thug, like he calls himself. And okay, I have to say this about the story. It was kind of it had a little oh God tilt to it. I don't know if you've seen that movie with George Burns, 1977. It also was a plot similar to an Indian film, 1977, also the same year Oh God came out. Yahi Hai Sindagi. Now I've never seen that, so I don't know how similar they are, but it definitely had it definitely, for me, it had the Oh God vibe. But I also want to say that the story was almost beat for beat Munna Bhai MBBS, as far as the a problem arises, the solution that Munna Bhai is going to cheat and lie to overcome to get the girl, right? And then all his buddies help him in this lie. He gets caught in the lie. She wants nothing to do with him till she realizes how noble he really is, and they end up together, which is the same storyline, except instead of a doctor, he's a professor. Now, obviously, the twist of having Gandhi around is completely different. But so, it was a rehash of the first film. Now, that doesn't necessarily make it bad, because it's an interesting story. And I mean, he's so good, and him and Circuit, that dynamic is comedy gold. Okay, their byplay with each other is fantastic. But the story was okay, other than the wrinkle of he meets the ghost of Gandhi, and I like the way they played that because they didn't play him as like this revered deity. They just played him as pretty much a regular guy who had a little twinkle in his eye, a little smile, giving his advice. And I liked that. And again, the interaction between the two was really good. So I enjoyed that. And there's a term that came out of this. Oh, where is it? I know I wrote it down. Well, the premise is he's Munna Bhai is solving problems using Ghandian values, which is the nonviolence, right? Talking it out, turning the other cheek. And that's antithetical to who Munna Bhai, the gangster, is, right? So it starts off with a great entrance of him. They do some backstory, but then his entrance, right? The camera's up above. He's sitting on a dock. The camera comes down. You don't see his face yet. He's sitting on a lounge chair, listening to the radio, listening to John V, who's this Good Morning Mumbai. Camera comes around, and there is Sanjay Dutt in love with this radio DJ who is based upon an Indian-based DJ, R.J. Malishka, who I've never heard of before. So they're going to have a contest, and whoever wins the contest answers questions about Gandhi, get to go in the studio and have a one-on-one interview with this DJ, John B. So, of course, like the medical exam in the first film, he's going to cheat. And that's a pretty funny scene because they're giving prizes away for every right answer. And somebody owned these prizes. That was a pretty funny scene. It was a very funny movie. Now, it had serious things in it. And again, with all these movies, the second half is much more serious than the first. But they did a couple of things that I really liked. Like they addressed the elderly, but they call them oldies. And I really liked the way they approached it, that these are real people who don't want to be dismissed, who still embrace life. And their interplay was really good too. So I like that end of it, and they help each other out. So I thought that was really well done. Um, so now he gets on this show, and they're doing interviews, right? And he's head over heels in love with her, and she is gorgeous. Like, she does this thing where she got one strand of hair coming down. This becomes a reoccurring thing in the movie, and she pulls it aside. But she is just, ugh. But I have to say, when she goes "Good Morning Mumbai" and she shouts it out, really, come on, that was Robin Williams in "Good Morning Vietnam." You don't believe me? Watch.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Come on, right? Now, she's much better looking than Robin Williams, but come on. So the plot is, like the first one, it's a little silly. Bomani plays this guy Lucky who tricks them, and the old folks' home, he takes it over, and now it's how are they going to get the home back? And they do this by saying that Bomani's character Lucky is really sick. He's sick, and we hope he gets well. And that's the thread, right? They're not going to. First, he wants to beat him up, right? But he's not going to do that because Gandhi wouldn't do that. So they're going to kill him with kindness. And there's a funny thing. Like at one point, he says nonviolence, right? When you get hit in the cheek, turn the other cheek, no, expose the other cheek. So there's a scene where he's with a cop, and the cop belts him, and then he goes, he points to his cheek, and the cop belts the other one. And he says, he didn't tell me what to do after both cheeks get hit. And that's when he hits the cop. I thought that was funny. So him struggling with, because Gandhi is in his ear all the time, right? And no one else can see him but Munai. So he's trying to get him to think differently, not think like Munai, and think like Gandhi, right? So those scenes are very funny. And then let's see. There was one thing I wanted to say in here. Where is it? I can't. And my notes are very small on this one because I had a lot of them. But he takes over the radio show, and now he becomes this advice DJ. So people call in with problems, and he gives them Ghandian advice. So one guy, Jimmy Shergill, calls, and he embezzled 700,000, whatever the monetary thing is, um, from his father. Now he's going to kill himself. Now, here's what I mean about the first film and this film. Jimmy Shergill played a guy in the first film who had cancer and is going to die, but didn't want to die a virgin. So Munna Bhai sets up a stripper and all this stuff. Plays almost the same character, except this time he doesn't kill himself because Munna Bhai talks him out of it using the Ghandian approach. And those scenes are great because people are listening on the radio. And when he does these things, you can hear everything because he's got the phone going. So I like that. Now there's a big thing where John V finds out that he's not really a professor and she doesn't want anything to do with him. And they were going to get married, right? Well, of course, everything turns around and they end up getting married, which is different from the first film. I don't know what happened to the girl he fell in love with the first film, but she was gone. Dropped her like a sack of potatoes. This one he's going to marry. Okay. I don't know if they stuck together. I don't know if they made a third one, but and they saved the home, and it all ends happy. And then finally, Bomani's character, Lucky, who, he was a bad guy, but he really wasn't a bad guy. And there's a whole wedding side plot. Oh, I have to mention the wedding side plot because his daughter is getting married. And the reason why he screwed over the elderly home was because the father-in-law, it's a whole convoluted plot thing, so I won't get into it. But she's going to get married. And you see her, but you never see who she's going to marry. So towards the end of the film, uh, she wants to kill herself because of the date she was born. Again, I'm not going to get into it, but her fiance is Amitabh Bachchan. No, Abakesh. I'm going to screw this up. What the? I want to make sure I say his name right. Abakesh, Abakesh, Abakesh. Yeah, Abhishek. Abhishek Bachchan does a cameo as Sunny, who's the fiance you never meet till this one scene. So I thought that was cool. And then Lucky, who's been the bad guy but turns it around, is in the Gandhi library trying to learn about Gandhi. And now Gandhi shows himself to Lucky. Before he does that, he breaks the fourth wall and Gandhi's sitting on a desk talking directly to the camera or the narration, the voiceover. So he's discussing what he did and what he's going to do now by showing himself to Lucky. So that's the story in a nutshell. And I have to say, I mean, I give it three Ladoos. It wasn't great because it was so much of the first one, but I don't think the story is why you watch this film. Although I think it had a lot to say about Gandhi. In fact, there's one line in there where Munna screams that India is a nation of cowards, and Gandhi would be ashamed because of a situation that arises. Um, so this really is saying to India, don't forget who this man was and what he stood for, because we're starting to forget that. Oh, one other thing after the credits, they do a little narration about what happened to everybody. And Circuit, who's a very funny character, gets adopted by an older couple that got married. And they end up dressing like him with the black t-shirt and the chains. I wonder if they got the fly knife, that butterfly knife that he's always whipping out. So I give it 3. The acting, look, it's a silly movie. He Sanjay Dutt is extremely likable in this movie, and Arshad Warsi, who plays Circuit, their relationship is great, and it's really, look, it's why you watch the first one. It's probably why you watch this one. Their interplay is really great. They're very funny. They have a scene in jail that I read was only supposed to be for the trailer, but it was so good they let him keep going and they ad-libbed the whole scene. It was very, very funny about what's going to happen to them if they keep getting jailed, how good that's going to be for them. Um, and Bomani was good. The girl Janvi was beautiful. She was an all right actress. I don't think she was fantastic. I think the guy who played Gandhi was really good because I mean, how it's like playing Jesus Christ, right? How do you play that and make the person real? And I thought he did that because he had this little smirk. he had a little wink and a nod, but still had the Gandhi philosophy and was trying to make Munna understand that. So, so overall, we talking about, Academy Award winning performances? Absolutely not. Probably a three. Um, but good. I mean, funny. You're rooting for these people. Even the people that played the oldies, I thought were really funny. I haven't seen that in any Indian film, and I like the way they handled that. So, and then the music. The music in these movies are just so upbeat and light and happy. They're usually whistling. He's usually whistling. Very colorful stuff. I mean, the first song, he wins the contest, so he whistles and they do this big dance number. The second song is in the library, he's learning about Gandhi, and it's called Mother Lord. And that's right before he meets the ghost of Gandhi. The third song, Hey Bye, What's Up? And then it's just consider it done. And they do this big dance number in a circus as him and Circuit are drunk. Uh, and they keep putting him in different situations. The fourth song was Get Well Soon, right? And then finally, the fifth song, which was the most romantic one, was kind of a montage of their building relationship, his and John, because he decided he wanted to marry her. Um, so I like the music. I like the musical numbers. I think I've said this before. He's an older guy, so he's not like he's no Hrithik Roshan dancing, right? They give him very limited movement, but they put so many people out there and they're all in sync and it's so colorful. It looks really cool. And they also use a lot of young, hot women too. Okay. I just want to call that out in a bunch of these numbers. That's not bad. That's not a bad thing. So the music, I'm actually going to give a 4 because very peppy, very upbeat, and that whistling thing just keeps sticking in my head. Um, so that's it. I mean, this is a short one, but I like this. I liked it just like I liked the first one. Again, I thought it was a rehash of the first one with a little twist to it, but that doesn't mean I didn't like it. I enjoyed it, and I really do. After seeing him play such bad guys and playing this light character, and again, the way he interacts with Circuit, I think it's great. Overall, I'm going to give this 3 Ladoos. 3 Ladoos. I don't know what's next on my list. I think I mentioned in the last video, I'm having a little trouble tracking down the last 3 films with English subtitles that I'm trying to watch. So if you guys, because I got to tell you, and I know I did on my last video, but I want to thank you again. I'm getting a lot of hits on Animal and 12th Fail and a lot of comments and a lot of subscriptions. And I think probably because those movies are trending. So if you guys have any ideas on movies that are trending that I can actually watch, throw them out. I will take a look at them because I'm loving the interplay with you guys, and it hasn't been there for a while. Maybe it's been the movie choices I've made, whatever. But 12th Fail and Animal have paid off. So I'm open to it. Okay. That is it. Oh, this week on the big show, we are filming the episode with My Name is Khan. So that should probably be out by the end of the week. So take a look for that also. And as always, subscribe, hit the like button. No, smash the like button. I'm sorry, not hit, smash. Hit the notification button. And if you think someone might like this, my take on things, share it. I really appreciate it. And again, I keep saying it, but I never want to take it for granted. I really appreciate the fact you guys take the time to comment, watch this, and give me feedback, honest feedback too. It really does help. I hope it helps make the show better because that's what I'm striving to do. Get more eyes on it and see what happens. Okay. Thanks a lot, everyone, for watching, and we will talk to you soon with another 10ish-Minute review.